Hello everybody and welcome you all in another episode of Around the World on Many Plates. And today I am taking you to Kandahar, which is in Pakistan. But 70 years back, both India and Pakistan used to be same countries, and the one thing which is very common and I love about both the countries is the food. So now I learned this recipe in Dubai from an Afghani lady, and I was surprised that where was I living that I did not know this recipe. So which recipe I'm talking about? It's Kabuli chana Kandhari. Now Kabuli chana is chickpea and Kandhari is the region. So what is so different about this Kandhari style chana? Now you must be using tea water or amla powder to make your gravy black. But this uses an ancient method which I'm going to tell you in a while. So now let's go to the kitchen and have a look at this beautifully tangy and velvety Kandhari Kabuli chana.
So now I have simplified the ingredients as per the step involved. So the first step is boiling, and we will need these following ingredients. After the boiling is done, the marination of the boiled chickpeas will be done by the following ingredients. And the last is the gravy, which you see that they are very simple ingredients that you can find in your kitchen. So now we have soaked these chickpeas with the whole spices overnight, so the chickpeas will absorb all the flavor from these spices. Now the next step is boiling. We'll boil the chickpeas for 30 minutes with 1 teaspoon of salt. If you want, you can use a pressure cooker. 3 to 4 whistle will do the trick. I personally prefer using an open flame or an induction because now I can see how much water is left, if I need to add extra water, or is the cooking done well before 30 minutes. I can keep an eye on it. And cooking on a pressure cooker will actually kill 90 to 95% of your vitamins and minerals whichever are present with the chickpea. So in an open cooking or a covered pot cooking, these vitamins do not die as much as in the pressure cooking. Now one thing you must be noticing, there's a froth formation on the top. Now this froth is because of saponin. So when you soak the lentils overnight, the saponin is inside all the lentils and it gets dissolved in the water and the froth formation happens. So you need to get rid of the froth because this froth is similar to the froth in the soap. So we'll remove it by taking it out 2 to 3 times. And after 30 minutes, I'm going to check if my chickpeas are done or not. So I'll give it a medium press and I will see that they are soft, not very hard and not very soft. Now I will separate the water and the chickpeas and I will save that water for later use. So now we will marinate these chickpeas with Kashmiri chili powder, some chana masala powder, cumin powder, and some garam masala powder. So now here the chickpeas are very hot. The spices we have added, we will mix them properly, and with the concealed heat of the chickpeas, the spices will get cooked and they will get inside the chickpeas evenly. And we will cover it and keep it aside.
So now we are going to prepare an activated charcoal at home. Now when 200 years back Britishers came to India, they were laughing at people that they are brushing their teeth with charcoal. If somebody is having a food poisoning, they're giving them charcoal. And now if you see the Pepsodent, the Colgate, everything has charcoal in it or turmeric. So the people knew the ingredients much better than the way we know them now. So for this recipe, we will prepare an activated charcoal, which will give this gravy a jet black color, which the tea leaves and amla powder can never give. And on the top, tea water in the food is not very good because the tea is very acidic in nature. So if you are adding an acidic thing along with masalas and spices, the food is going to give you a lot more acidity. So now let's go back.
So now we put besan flour or gram flour in a pan, in a small tempering pan, and we will roast it at a very high flame. So now when the color starts changing, we will reduce the flame to medium and we will keep stirring it. Now you can see that the mixture has become a little darker, and we will not stop stirring at this point of time, and this is the color of the gravy at the end. So if you make it very dark, the gravy will become darker. Because in the older time, people did not have tea leaves because tea leaves were very expensive and only for the British and the elite people. So they used to burn the flour and they used to color their gravy with it. So now don't worry about it that it is getting burnt or your room is full with the smoky fragrance. Doesn't matter. So I'll stop at this point and I will crush the lumps and I will cover it and keep it in the corner. In the meanwhile, I'll heat a pan and I will add 3 to 4 tablespoons of mustard oil, and I will heat the mustard oil till it turns smoky because we need to get rid of the pungent flavor of the mustard. So now it has come to a smoke point, and here I am adding 2 very fine chopped onions, and at this point you will reduce the flame to medium, otherwise the onions will start burning very fast. You can cover them for 2 minutes and again stir it, cover it for 2 minutes again and stir it. You can repeat this step until and unless the onions have turned to a golden color. Now this is how the onion should look like. And this is the time we will add our ginger and garlic. So I'm taking 1 spoon of garlic paste here, and I will add 1 spoon of ginger paste. You can use chopped ginger or chopped garlic, whatever is easy for you. We will give it a quick stir and we'll cover it for 2 to 3 minutes, keeping the flame medium. Now remember, right after adding ginger and garlic, the mixture will start sticking at the bottom. Yes, this is the tendency of ginger and garlic, that it sticks at the bottom. That's why we add it into the curries in the middle step, because the flavor of ginger and garlic is very delicate, very volatile, it evaporates quickly. So now we will cook it, stir it occasionally. Now you can see here, it is almost done. Now I'll cover it again for 2-3 minutes, and this is the final consistency. You can see the onions have become caramelized, the ginger and garlic has mixed up, and the oil is getting separated from the sides. Now this is the best time to add chopped tomatoes or pureed tomatoes. I've used a blender to puree them, and we'll mix it nicely. You see the ginger and garlic is sticking at the bottom, so you need to be careful, just scrape whatever is there. Now at this point we want the cooking to be fast, so we will add a little salt, but remember there was salt added while boiling chickpeas, so keep the salt very minimum. And this is an optional step. I will add 1 big spoon of tomato puree, because tomato puree gives a little sweetness to this gravy and it balances the overall dish. This I have tried and tested over a long period of time. So now you can see the tomatoes are slightly getting cooked now. The oil is coming on the sides. We will cover it, and in the meanwhile we'll make a spice mixture. So for the spice mixture, we need all the powdered spices and we'll mix water into it. So here goes your 1 spoon of coriander powder, then 1 spoon of Kashmiri chili powder, 1 spoon of chana masala powder, and a little water. So now why we are adding water is because these spices are in powdered form, they are not whole spices. Because the whole spices you can add directly into the oil, but the powdered spices are very delicate, so you want to give them a little cushion while cooking, so once you know that you're going to put them in the hot oil, you need to give them a little moisture so that you don't stick. So now here the mixture would look like this, and at this stage we will add the spice mixture, which is soaked in water. So now we will reduce the flame because the spices are very delicate, and we'll give it a quick stir. And we will also add turmeric powder. So turmeric is a little strong spice and it doesn't burn as quickly as other spices like coriander, cumin and cardamom powder. You can add the turmeric powder directly in the sauteing process. So we'll cover it on a very low flame for 1 minute, and after 1 minute we will add that burnt gram flour. Remember that we made the smoky thing. I made a powder of it and I'm going to add it here. So we'll saute it for a while, and here the more powder you add, the darker your curry will become. So this powder, if you feel that it is less darker, you can add extra powder at the very end of your curry and it will give the same result. So after a minute of cooking it on a covered heat, we will add the leftover water which will be saved from the boiling, remember. So now we'll give it a quick stir, and at this stage we will add the marinated chickpeas. The flavor must have gotten inside the chickpeas very nicely and evenly. If you want, you can have a bite at this and you will realize how flavorful the chickpeas have become. So at a medium flame now, because there is little moisture also present here, we will add the chickpeas. And now I am going to add 2 slit green chilies. I prefer eating a bit spicier, but you can omit this step if you don't eat very spicy. So if you want to increase the consistency or decrease the consistency, you can add water accordingly. I have added little 400 ml of water into this at this time, and I am going to cover it for 15 minutes. So after 15 minutes, you can see the curry has become dark, the oil has started coming on the top, and we will switch off the flame, turn off the flame and add coriander to it. You can also check for seasoning at this point of time if it has salt or chili, everything according to your taste. Now after 15 minutes you will see the gravy has started becoming a little more darker. But remember, after an hour it will become more darker. And I am plating this after 2 hours of preparing the gravy, and you will be stunned at the look of this. Isn't it lip smacking?
I actually did not want to disclose this recipe because it was sort of my signature and only I knew about it. And people were requesting from a very longer period of time that please tell me, please tell me. And I don't know what I was waiting for, and today is the time. So I hope you enjoyed this dish and do try it at home. And if you liked it, press the bell icon, comment and share this recipe with your friends and family. And I will see you with some more exclusive recipes from around the globe. Bye bye and take care.